What's going on, Running Back Academy family? It's Coach Jerry Seymour here. I have Coach David Walker, owner, CEO of thirdand3.com. Started the Running Back Roundtable, and thank you for joining us, Coach, man, because I know you're a busy man, and I just want to, us in the Running Back Academy know that we can anytime you drop jewels, man, and you have completely just helped me out, just from a running back coach's perspective. So, I just wanted to introduce you and just wanted to thank you for your time and joining us on the Running Back Academy, podcast.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here, man. Anytime to be able to, talk with guys that are really knowledgeable about the position, and be able to share some of my experiences, man. I look forward to that stuff.
Yeah. So basically the first question I want to dive into is I want to ask you, like, how did you get started? Like, what was your career? You played college ball, and then kind of, from like a summary of, where you started in college and then up until now.
Okay. I'm an upstate New York guy. Grew up in Rochester, New York. I'm an hour and a half down the road from Syracuse going one way. I'm an hour down the road from Buffalo going the other way.
Okay.
And so I ended up going to Syracuse University, back in the day where, no disrespect to where the program is right now, but back in the day, we were a top 15, top 10 program. In those years, had a really good career. I was a good college player, not a great college player.
Yes, sir.
Had a chance to get in an NFL training camp for about 2 weeks, and
right.
Kind of realized that my playing days were probably over, and let's get involved with some other things.
Gotcha.
And started transitioning from being a player to getting involved in coaching. Got hired. My first job was actually down in your neck of the woods with Walt Frazier, Carroll City High School.
Oh, wow. I know that.
Back in 1994.
Wow.
Yeah, back in 1994. And this is things that you have no idea how people are going to turn out.
Correct.
But so Santana Moss was on that team when I was coaching down there, and Rick Ross was on that team when I was coaching down there. So both have done well for themselves.
Yeah, big time.
But did that for a year, and then got a chance to go back up to my alma mater. Coached up at Syracuse, coached the running backs up there for 10 years. Was involved with some really good teams and some really good players. Left Syracuse, went to the University of Pittsburgh, was there for 6 years. And I had a chance to coach some guys that are still playing now, LaShawn McCoy,
right.
Deion Lewis, guys like that are still running around the league. And then got a break and had an opportunity to jump to the NFL and work with Jim Caldwell and Chuck Pagano in Indianapolis with the Colts. Did that for 4 seasons.
Correct.
Coached high school football 4 seasons back in high school, and then 3 years with the Detroit Lions. And then lately have been doing my stuff with the 3rd and 3 platform.
Yes, sir. Now, speaking of 3rd and 3, I understand that you have retired from the NFL, and, how did this idea come up, as far as like, I'm just going to build a platform, called 3rd and 3, first the name. I love the name. 3rd and 3 is just like, hey, it is what it is. We either going to convert or we not, so how did you come up with that whole concept? Like, where were you? I just want to hear the whole story. Like, you were just sitting there and then poof.
Right. Well, I'll do the name first, and then we'll talk about the concept of the platform. But I wore 33 back in the day, so that was my number.
Okay.
My sons in high school both wore 3, so off through their deal, they were number 3. I was 33. So when we started to put this together, I wanted to really have it be a family thing. So obviously, you start thinking about different names, but the 3rd and 3 kind of symbolizes me and my boys, and that's how come the logo looks like it does. It looks like a number 33 from a distance, but when you get up a little bit closer and look at it, you can see the 3rd and 3. So that's for the name of the company and the logo. And then, the idea really came by accident, in all honesty. This would have been last March. I was sitting around on a Zoom call with some high school coaches, and we were just talking ball. And my youngest son, was home because of the pandemic. He was home from college, and he's kind of paying attention to me, not paying attention to me. When I finally got off the call, he says, not for nothing, you got something here. And I'm like, what you mean? You know what I mean? He's like, no, you have a skill set
Right.
And a knowledge that you're sharing with guys, you should be able to do more with this.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started, to be honest with you, he started to put together the makings of a website for me.
Oh, wow.
He says,
Wow.
we're going to make this, we're going to make this into something. And I was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But he started doing his job and putting stuff together. And I started to think about it more. And okay, how could a concept like this,
Mm-hmm.
you know, really be something that could be sustainable and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, kind of a little bit through trial and error and a little bit through, you know, just putting a lot of things down on paper and bouncing them off different guys I have respect for and you know, talk to in the industry.
Yes.
And it was kind of born, and we've, you know, from where we started to where we are now, you know, it's almost like night and day in terms
Right.
of the quality of content that we're providing, the
Yes.
number of people that we're reaching, and the feedback that we get from coaches that have been on the site and talk about having a great experience and wanting to hear and see a little bit more.
Correct, because I've been on a couple calls myself, and man, just the community and some of the guys that has been on these calls. You know, you have Ben Sermon from Green Bay, you know, who was understudy of you. You had the Saints running back. You had the running back coach from the Chargers.
Yeah, Joel Thomas, Mark Ridgely.
Yeah.
You know, Eric Studesville, who's with the Dolphins, has been on.
Yes.
You know, and then we have a lot of college guys that come on kind of on a regular, to
Correct.
be honest with you, and high school guys as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's not anything, at least I haven't found anything like it. So we're kind of unique in what we do.
Right.
And it's a great way to network with guys. As you know, me and you kind of have met through that, or got reacquainted through that. Mm-hmm. So it's good for guys to network. It's good for guys to grow. And then one of the things that's really maybe unique to what I do is when we have a topic or a subject matter, mm-hmm. we try like heck to see it from both sides of the ball.
Right,
and have both offensive and defensive coaches on there to talk about things and really to stir up some good conversation.
Yeah, because it's not, like I told you, it's not only just about running back. I know we have the running back roundtable, and you know, just for me, you know, just kind of the viewers out there, you know, this is just not only just a running back platform. I know you have like with special teams, you had like quarterbacks. I've seen that. You've seen some stuff. You had some stuff for high school coaches, recruiting, you know, and I was like, whoa, like, you know, he's really clicking on all cylinders here, you know, so it's not just for running back coaches, but, you know, like I said, if you are a running back coach, you want to take your knowledge to the next level or just learn something else, you know, I mean, you have it all right there. And I just want to let you know, like the platform is getting better and better. You know, I look at it at least 2 to 3 times a week, you know, just reading videos and just different articles and just seeing what new, you know, Zoom calls that you guys are having. So, you know, for a guy who's just, you know, kind of, you know, who wants to join these calls, how do they do that? You know, so kind of walk us through that process.
Okay. So I'll kind of double down on what you just said. You know, mm-hmm. the goal is to try, if you're a coach, you should be able to find something. When I say something, if you go on the site, you should be able to see something that's going to fit you, whether you're an offensive coach, a defensive coach, coaching the front 7, the back 7, the skill guys. We're gonna provide that type of content. We're also going to provide special teams content, which really most coaches are going to need. And then the other thing that we added on a monthly schedule is we provide some sort of professional development talk or clinic where it's not necessarily X's and O's. Like you mentioned, we did one called Recruiting During COVID and had both sides of the cone, by both sides of the coin, from high school coaches' perspective and college coaches' perspective. Last month we had an excellent talk about how do you ascend in the profession and trying to advance in football. And that was really well done by the experts that were on. Later this month, we'll have how to build and maintain a culture within a program. So that's a talk that's coming up that I'm looking forward to hearing. That'll be in a couple weeks. So if a coach goes on and is able to be engaged 2 to 3 times a month, that's really what I'm trying to provide for coaches. You can go to thirdand3.com.
Yes.
On there, when you get to the homepage, there's a clinic sessions tab. Hit on the clinic sessions, and then you'll see the upcoming, really I put it out basically 2 weeks in advance, the kind of 2-week calendar. You can sign up for a clinic session at that point. There's also a training videos tab where if you aren't able to make a session, or you look and you say, that maybe doesn't hit me right now, there's a training videos tab. And if you go under that training videos tab, you'll see maybe a dozen or so trailers of what our talks are all about, 5 to 6 minutes of a talk on a particular subject. And then you'll see where you could purchase the full videos of previous talks we've had. And you can sort them by position, whether, you're a quarterback coach or a pass game guy, and you just want to see what have they done on here from a pass standpoint. You can sort quarterbacks or receivers and see the probably 7 or 8 talks that show up. And we try to provide, like I said, we get really quality coaches that come on and share their knowledge, which is important. It's it hits all levels, but in all honesty, it's more geared toward high school and college coaches. Not that a youth coach can't get on the platform and learn, because you certainly can.
Yes, sir.
But some of the content is probably more geared for the high school and college level.
Right. Because I kind of just want to spill what goes in these things, but I'm not, because it's so informative, man, and it's very humbling, because you get a lot of guys. You may get some guys that come on there thinking that they know everything, and then by the time they leave out of that meeting, they're like, whoa, like, sheesh. You know what I mean? And speaking, and just to kind of double back on what you said about if you didn't catch a video, you could definitely go back, because I recently purchased like 2 or 3 videos of meetings that I missed, because obviously life happens. I'm dead bolt in the middle of combine season. So, my time, and I'm hired by like 3 gyms. So, it's not every time that I'm going to be able to, get to a video or get to a clinic. But sometimes, I can go back. Oh, I like this. I'm going to go ahead and check this video out. So, Coach, give us a little bit about how do you structure these video calls? Like, do you guys go through film? What happens here?
So the majority of the calls will be, there'll be a version of a PowerPoint presentation initially to kind of start it off and go through the presentation, whatever the particular topic is. And then that's normally followed by, or during the presentation, film, whether it's drill work or whether it's practice or game cut-ups are involved. And then at the end is the open discussion. So you can the feel of it is introductions at the beginning, because that's as important as the content, in all honesty, is helping coaches build their network. I can be a high school coach, and if I just jump on this call and I didn't take 5 minutes to have guys introduce themselves, I could be a high school coach on a call. And there could be a college coach on the call. And that's, to me, is a connection that should be made from a recruiting standpoint. And if I don't do that, that's, to me, it's shame on me. So at the beginning of the calls, we make sure everybody knows who's on the call. And I think that's important for the networking piece. We add our contact information so guys can get in touch. And then, like I said, it'll be, maybe it's a 25-minute presentation on the topic, followed by film of that presentation, and then followed by basically a roundtable type discussion where everybody can ask and give their points of view on the topic that was discussed. That's kind of the way we work it. I want it to be interactive. I want a guy to get on and be able to share as much as he gets. That's kind of the deal. And to be on a kind of a different note, from my standpoint, selfishly, I'm evaluating coaches on there as well. And the reason I say that is, we all have friends in the industry. If I get a guy that calls me up and says, "Hey, David, do you know any running back coaches you would recommend?" And if I had 3 or 4 guys on my calls and they were able to discuss stuff and show their wares and not be intimidated by the platform, then it would be easy for me to say, "Hey, you know what? I've been working with this guy. He's a guy maybe you should contact." So, I'm coaching, but I'm also evaluating as well. And once again, I think it's a win-win for everybody, that gets on the site.
And that's why I love that the reason that you're creating a community, you know what I mean? And that's what I mean. Like, you're not just only teaching, you're also evaluating. So, if you can, so tell me a little bit about some of the running back specific videos that you have on your platform.
Okay. You know, there's, you know, we've done several different discussions and talk. The ones that I think really resonate with me, that I know if a guy grabbed and looked at, he's gonna be able to see things differently and grow, would be, and I have to pull them up on my phone here, so I apologize. So I get the names correct. But there's, I would say the two that come to the top of my mind is the number one would be, we have a video called Executing All the Run Schemes.
Correct.
And so on that video, we talk about all the blocking schemes. We identify the blocking schemes. We talk about what they mean for the lineman, but more importantly, what they mean for the back. And then we talk about how we train the eyes and read those particular schemes. And I'm a big scheme guy as opposed to play guy. Like, to me, if you can understand how to run an outside zone, and we have 4 different outside zones in our offense. Let's say we have a tight inside outside zone, an open side outside zone, a split outside zone. To me, if you know the scheme, you can execute all those plays. So we do a good job on that video talking about learning and understanding the run schemes. The other video that I get a lot of good feedback from is there's one entitled Developing Your Back. And it goes through all the phases. You know, to me, there's 4 pillars of being a back. There's running the ball, there's receiving the ball, there's blocking for the ball, and there's protecting the ball. And we kind of break all those phases down in that particular video. And we have drill tape and game footage and all the coaching points that go along with it. So those 2 would be really 2 good ones. If you're looking for something play specific, there's a really good video on power. There's a really good video on outside zone and inside zone. There's those things as well. We'll have an updated drill tape video that will be added probably the end of the month or the beginning of next month. There'll be an updated drill tape video that will go on there as well. So you know, we got a lot of content, you know, and hopefully some of your viewers will just take a chance and look at what we have and see if it's something that resonates with them.
Yeah. And I'm gonna just add on, like, guys, this is something that you really need to really hone in on, you know, especially from a coach's perspective. I mean, just understanding the game, the running back position, or just all aspects inside and out. And like I say, a lot of your videos, like the one, how to read blocks, I don't know if I'm saying the title right, but that one completely changed my life, because all my life, you know what I mean? And we'll get into some of that running back coaching talk. You know, I was reading the linebackers wrong, you know what I mean? And, you know, you on play side zone, you read the play side linebacker, the backside linebacker. And then on leads, that threw me off. You know, when you have to read the backside linebacker first, then you read play side. So, man, I was like, you should have seen me in here. I was right here in this office. I was like, oh my God, like, it's crazy. Like, and it makes so much sense.
Well, and that was, there's 2 things about it. Okay. So, like everything in coaching, there's a progression.
Right.
And sometimes we don't allow the back, we don't do a good enough job of teaching the back his progression with his eyes on run reads. Okay. So that's number 1. And then number 2, once you can get the feel and understand what you're talking about, it's easy for a guy to transfer that to real time. So here's, I got to just share this, because I think this is important for coaches and players. As you're watching the film of what a kid what a kid has done on the film, and you're trying to make a comment to him, whether that was good or that was bad, you shouldn't take the film and get to the end zone copy and rewind it and pause and start coaching the kid. Because the kid doesn't have that type of time to see that picture during the game. So whatever coaching points you're giving a player, if they are good when the film is running one time and you talk about whatever progression or whatever you want them to see, then that's what applies. If you have to freeze the film and have the film frozen and talk about this, that, and the other, that's not reality for the player. So always coach through the eyes of the player. and that is at full speed,
Correct.
from the
Yeah.
back end.
Yeah. I got you. Understood.
So I just want to share that point with guys.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and like I said, you always drop jewels, man, and I'm always learning from you. So, but just kind of close this thing out. I got like two more questions for you. I know you're having like a running back course, that you just, created. Tell us a little bit about that. When is the, the time frames, where people can join, and kind of give us a little bit about that.
Yep. So what I decided to do, like you said, is just create something that I didn't see. I search for, different things to help me get better. You know what I mean? And I didn't find, what I was looking for. So I decided, hey, I'm going to create it.
Absolutely.
And have it be something that guys can see. So the running back school really consists of 13 courses. It's like taking a semester course at college, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do 13 classes, 90-minute classes once a week.
Wow.
We're doing it. So we have a session that goes, our winter session is from January through March.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to turn around and we're going to repeat that April through June for the spring session. And we had our first class of the winter session this past Monday. And it went really well. We videotape everything. Because this semester is going to be interesting, because some guys that are in the class are actually going to be in season. Some of these FCS coaches are actually playing games their season this spring, where other guys it's their off season. So I'm really, really flexible with when we're going to hold the classes, but I make sure I video everything. So if a coach, can't be there for class 3, let's say, he'll be able to still get the video of it. And if there's coaches that are out there that would still like to be part of this winter session,
correct,
just get in touch with me. My email, I'll drop that here. My email is dlwalk, WALK 33@gmail.com. So you can hit me up there, and we can work on that if guys are interested in being involved.
Absolutely.
With what we're doing right now.
Absolutely. And definitely, Coach, I'm going to make sure all your contact is on here in post editing, so guys will know exactly where to find you and click on links and go right to your website. And if they need to reach out to you personally, I'll go ahead and I'll put the email on there as well. Now, guys, you've heard it all from Coach David Walker, how to join the running back school, and also 3rd-and-3.com on some of the educational videos and Zoom meetings that these big time guys, have. And how many months, how many weeks is once a week or twice a week? Kind of give me the.
Yep. So
this is just for all classes, not just the running back.
So for the general 3rd-and-3 platform, what we try to do is we try to put on at least 2 clinics a week, usually Tuesday and Wednesday nights.
Yes.
And then with the running back school, we're doing that on Monday evenings.
Okay.
So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there's usually something going on. And then the goal is to try to provide 7 to 8 clinics a month for coaches.
Gotcha.
On the site. And then once again, the running back school is its own separate entity.
Absolutely. And I actually, guys, I'm going to be joining the one that's in spring. And also, last thing I almost forgot, and it's not like I know you said something about having all the money up front, although that is good, but there's a way that there can be payment plans and things of that nature.
Yeah. We'll work with guys in terms of the payment plans, in terms of what the running back school is. I've got some monthly options for guys, and we've got a lump sum option. And then the other thing I'll say is this too, I'll promote a little bit, is we'll do individual plans and staff plans in terms of a monthly plan, or what I term a seasonal plan, which is that 3 months right now. We're that January, February, March plan.
Yes.
Where if you're a coach and there's 5 or 6 other coaches on your staff, you can pay X amount of dollars and everybody would have unlimited access to the regular clinics.
Gotcha.
The running back school, once again, is a little bit separate. So that information is also on the website under the, I believe it's going to be membership. I believe that's how it's tabbed, as memberships. You can kind of go there and look at what we offer. And it's just trying to, like I said, give guys options.
Right.
If you feel like you see content that you want to be on a lot, the membership plans are going to save you a little bit money as opposed to jumping on every clinic individual. So that was the goal of putting that together.
Correct. And like I told you guys, I highly recommend you guys to go over to 3rd-and-3.com and go just check out the website. If you see a video that you like, go ahead and purchase it. I promise you it will change your life as it did mine. But before we close out, Coach, I just want to get into some football talk. Just want to hear, like, for our viewers, who are your top 3 running backs that's in the league right now that you feel like that's doing their thing?
Tell you what, when you sent that to me a little bit earlier, and I put some thought in it. I'm going to say these guys, and they might not be guys everybody would think about, but
absolutely
the 2 young guys. Well, I guess one's not really young. The one young guy that I'm a huge fan of, based on what I've seen him do over the last 2 years, is Nick Chubb.
Yeah, buddy.
With the Cleveland Browns.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's a guy that, combines the speed, the strength, the explosion, the quickness, the toughness, and the productivity. So he's a guy I love watching him.
Me too.
Play. The other 2 guys, for different reasons, but the production just kind of keeps coming, and sometimes you don't see it coming, like is Aaron Jones with the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, sir.
He seems to be a guy that it doesn't seem. I don't want to compare him to Emmitt Smith, but I'm going to say, in terms of maybe not having the best individual qualities. Emmitt wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the biggest, he wasn't the strongest. You would probably rank other guys higher in individual categories, but in terms of production, Emmitt was great. And I look at this Aaron Jones kid, I just see a guy that is tougher and stronger than you think. Yeah, I see him bust 70 and 80-yard runs and not get caught, so he's faster than you think.
Yes, he is.
So that guy has really worn on me. So I would say I'm a real big fan of Nick Chubb, real big fan of Aaron Jones. And then the other guy, because he does it all, so it seems effortlessly, is Alvin Kamara.
Yes, sir.
The pass game stuff, the run game stuff. He's an able blocker. He can be in the backfield. He can be out in the perimeter.
Yes, sir.
He's just a guy too that I really have a big respect for, because his game is so complete. It's hard to look at his game and find a hole.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So there's other guys out there, but those 3 guys, for their different reasons, I don't know if they're all the best, but those are the guys that I really enjoy watching.
Yeah, absolutely. And most my younger viewers will, just go off the stats. They'll say the Derrick Henrys, which salute to him. I mean, he's done it. They'll say all the other guys that's at the top, the Dalvin Cooks of the echelon. And but those 3 guys, man, they're just solid. Like Nick Chubb, man, I call him Mr. Consistent. You know what I mean? Like, he's just so consistent. And he doesn't play on a sexy team. He plays with the Browns, and everybody knows the Browns for Odell Beckham and, other reasons. But I mean, this guy is just, I did a reaction video on him, man, and the way he gets upfield after he makes a cut. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to watch. And I just love watching running backs run. And then Aaron Jones, I did a internship with Green Bay. And when I seen the guy, I was like, this dude is, man, he's not big at all, man. I mean, I know in the offseason he told me he drops down to about 170, 180. And then, man, he does. And then he gets back up, So, and then just watching him run, he's so smooth. And when he hits those outside, because they run a lot of outside zone, when he hits that outside zone, he runs it so perfectly. And Alvin Kamara, I mean, I can't really just beautiful, man. And I actually seen him in person. And I was shocked, because I thought he was a guy that weighed about 210, 215. That dude was like 228 pounds, because when you watch him run, people just fall off of him. And it's like, how is this dude not, you would think he's about to get crushed. And when you see him run, it's like, okay, now I see why people are bouncing off this guy. This guy, he's big, got big legs, so he's not a frail guy. I know on the football field, he looks lean, but I mean, he's a thicker guy than most people think, so. But go ahead, Coach.
And I was going to say, you said it would be remiss, like, and I'm glad you mentioned, the year that Derrick Henry had, and Dalvin Cook, and I mean, shit, there's a ton of great guys. Buddy. Christian McCaffrey, you got to respect him. Saquon, if he's healthy.
Yes.
There's a ton of really, really good backs, but those 3 I mentioned, they just
man.
Maybe it's just I enjoy watching them and respect the hell out of their game.
Absolutely. And obviously, Coach, you've been in the game for a while, so you see it differently. You know what I mean? Like, most guys just look at the big plays, but you look from a blocking, did the guy make a cut, just the little details, that these guys do that, that's very, very important to a running back coach as far as moving the chains or getting that 3rd and 3. But now I just wanted to thank you, for joining, the Running Back Academy podcast. As I told you guys before, 3rd-and-3.com. Thank you again, Coach, for joining us, and we really appreciate you.
Man, always good to spend some time with you. Appreciate the opportunity, and hopefully some of these guys got a few nuggets along the way.
Okay, Coach. Well, like I say, I thank you, and we'll be talking more soon.
All right, sounds good,
brother.
my man.
All right, Coach.
All right.